the love. Everybody everywhere. Share the love.
Strengthening a tribe member deepens every connection. LNTEOW, labor and the expression of worth. I have been gifted with a great vision for us. We together have the power. Here we are, together, discovering our common work, our common love, and our common stories. If I'm brave enough to risk more hurt feelings, then I might get to keep trying. If-then thinking, that's our rational mind.
Was God born to wrestle with science in an age wrought with anger and fear? We've been holding our own, hoping that we've outgrown our urge to make promises dear.
I made a promise to myself many years ago. A man in my town took his own life. I didn't even know he struggled. All I knew were his kind eyes and his smile. And I knew his son, an inspiring guitar student. I wandered the campus there at ENMU in eastern New Mexico after he died. I can still feel the grief now, but there was this promise I made to myself. I promised I would always reach out for help. Yes, I feel the grief now. Do you remember in the 80s when the televangelists came into their golden era? Troubled men, charismatic men, men who knew the Bible, and also, isn't that a wonderful word? It's all one, and also. Do you remember Fred Rogers? Yes, that's Mr. Rogers I'm referring to. Do you know what he wanted for his audience? I'll tell you. Fred wanted you to know that you are lovable and that you are capable of loving. Fred Rogers was an ordained Presbyterian minister, and as far as I know, he never mentioned the name Jesus in his programming. Fred Rogers was connected to some of the greatest child psychologists of his time. He played piano and composed the music for his show. He was a leader, inspiring people to participate. Mr. Rogers told me that it was okay to be curious about other people. He showed me how to ask questions. Fred leaned into his work. He inspired many of us to follow in that work. You, my friend, are lovable and you are capable of loving. Come on. Fred Rogers was a different kind of televangelist, huh? He showed us an alternative path, a generous path of attention. He was giving us attention.
We will push our roots deep into the soil, and we will stretch our branches out past the fear. We will no longer need a leader to lead, because they only make promises dear.
Fred showed us how to give attention. He modeled, for some of us, an alternate form of masculinity. Attentive, imaginative, curious, vulnerable, unashamed, strong, hard-working, and openly intelligent. When the man from my small town died, I promised myself that I would reach out for help. I wished that we could have helped him. I promised myself that I would never. I promised that I would reach out for help. I honor every path, and I see the teacher in every life lived. Thank God for our ancestors, those who went before us. 3 years ago, my own brother waged a grave physical violence upon himself, and he survived. My mother and I flew to Denver when we got the news from his friend. I will share these details now. They are violent and painful. So if you are averse to hearing these details, please fast forward a minute or so, or go to another video, whatever you have to do to take care of yourself, but here it comes. There was a deep, stapled valley running up one of my brother's wrists. There was another self-inflicted puncture wound in his neck where he'd stabbed himself. I remained with my brother in Denver for 1 month after his suicide attempt. I remained with him until our undone familial work became more than our collective wisdom could manage. A violence arose between us one day. I became angry at him. I could not save my brother. When I left him, I knew that he would die. And I left anyway. It was snowing when my brother dropped me at the train station. He was wearing this very Carhartt that I wear now. We hugged. We both said, "I love you, brother." My brother was lovable, and he was capable of loving. And also, he was really hurting. And I'm glad I can say that I did everything I knew to do with the skill sets I possessed to help my brother. And when I knew that I had given all I had, once I saw clearly that I was exhausted, I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. And so I did. I left my brother there, and I knew that he would die. I consciously made peace with that. I continue working with brothers. I'm working with other brothers who are in trouble now. My brother is gone, but I believe that we can still help one another. One another and help your brother. Come on, come on. And sometimes I still feel like that troubled brother. What is it like to reach out for help, brother? Together, we are discovering our common work, our common stories, and our common love. When we strengthen a tribe member, we deepen all the tribes where we're connected. We need you, brother. This is how we feed the world. LNTEOW, labor and the expression of worth. We are aligning our efforts with what we know to have the deepest value. Together, we are discovering our common work, our common stories, and our common love. Strengthening a tribe member deepens a tribe. Depth tribes feed the world.